Hello friends, welcome back to my channel NUAA-TECH videos. And as we seen in the last video, we have installed the operating system 2022 on VMware platform, and this is the VM that was created. And now we will install the Active Directory role on this server. So let's proceed. So before we begin, let's rename this to the domain name. So I'm going to select test.local and I'll keep the same domain in ADDS. So this is the VM, and let's log on to the server, enter the credentials. So we will install two roles, ADDS, Active Directory Domain Services, and the DNS at initial stage. So the very first requirement, and that is the static IP address. So I'm just going to check ncpa.cpl is the command to open the network setting, and we can open from here as well. Uh, okay, static IP is not assigned. So I'm going to assign 192.168.1.10 IP address, and there is no default gateway because this is the first server and the first forest, and this would be the first domain controller in the domain also. So I'll leave it as blank. Okay, and let me check the setting as well. So VM and setting, I'll connect to the same VNet, NAT, then custom, and this was the one I created. Save the setting. Okay, so LAN is also connected. Okay, so this is server manager, and from here we can start adding the roles. Add roles, or from manage, add roles and features, and click next, and next, role based or feature based installation, and next. So this is the server name. I'm going to change it so that is more specific. I'll just change it and restart the server, and then we will start. So by the time I'll pause the video. Okay, so after restart, you can see this is the name test-dc1, and IP address is 192.168 and 1.10, and the operating system 22 data center evaluation. Let's click next, and we will add the roles, ADDS, and this prompt is to include the features, and we will select one more role that is pretty much important in order to install the Active Directory. Add features, then next. So this is just a demo version, and let me add one more thing here. I have added only one hard drive, and that is also with very less space, 32 GB. But while we are installing in production, we have to make sure we have sufficient storage available. So C drive, we can install only the operating system in it, and we can add one more drive D and E as well. So D drive, specifically we can use it for sysvol or the ADDS related files and directories, and it is good, always good, if we can add one more drive with less space, let's say 50 GB or so, for the logs capturing. So all the logs created or generated from the Active Directory in our production, they will be stored separately on a separate drive. So this is something, uh, the best exercise we can follow. Okay, let's continue. So group policy and the default features are already selected. So I'm not going to select any other feature from here. So say next. This is ADDS and DNS, and we will do this checkbox selected and install. So it will install the roles first, and then it will prompt for ADDS promotion or the domain controller promotion. Installation is started. Also, feature installation is in progress now. Okay, so role is installed along with all the features, and from here, as you can see, this is the mark, and here also it is asking whether we want to promote this as a domain controller. So let's click on this. Yes. Okay, so we will go with the first option, add a domain controller to an existing domain. Not this one, sorry, my bad. We will, because this is the new domain, and no, this is for new domain, and uh, add to a existing forest. But we are going to create a new forest, so we will select the third option, and here the root domain name, as I said, uh, my domain name is test.local. Click next. Okay, we will talk about forest functional levels and domain functional level later. So if just for more insight, if you have existing domain and you have 2008 or the legacy operating systems, then you need to select the previous versions for forest functional level and domain functional level. But since this is the new forest, I do not have any other domain controllers in this domain. So I'll go with the latest one, 2016. So I can add my 2016 domain controllers and associated features as well. And the domain controller capabilities, so this is my DNS server and global catalog server. This is not the RODC, and TSRM password. So be careful while you select or opt for the TSRM password. If this domain by any chance this is corrupted, to restore this domain, we would need DSRM password. So keep it safely. So I'm going to give the DSRM password. And next, the DNS option is set by DNS delegations. So no specific DNS delegations required. So this is the NetBIOS name, or the short name I would say. It's already picked, but we can give the domain name as a NetBIOS, anything as per our choice, but it's good to have the default one. Okay, then click next. Okay, so NTDS and sysvol, uh, you can place these, the NTDS and NTDS in production on another drive instead of the operating system drive. But this is the demo environment. There is no issue. I'll place everything on the same place in the C drive. And this is for the log files, and this is the database, and this is sysvol share that will be replicated among all the domain controllers. So let's keep as default and say next. And this is the script which is created. Import model ADDS deployment, then install ADDS forest, create delegations, and database path is default. And this is my domain, and sysvol path so and so. Everything that is there in the script itself. Let's click next. It will check all the prerequisites. If the prerequisites are not satisfied, it will throw the warnings. As you can see, the 2012 here, the default is security settings and default. So these are the warning. The server is not patched yet. That's the reason we are getting this. Uh, the prerequisites check is passed successfully, and we are good to install it. Click on install. The process is started. This is the target server test-dc1. We can install this role, also the ADDS services from any server connecting to remote through server manager. And that is the reason it is showing as a target server where we are placing or installing the roles. Okay, the partitions are getting created. Starting up. Since this is the first domain controller in the forest, so the installation will be very quick. Okay, how to sign out? The server will reboot now. Okay, restarting. Okay, let's log on to the server and we can see the test administrator. It is asking for the password. So the domain name already taken. The very first thing we are going to do, because the administrator is highly privileged account, so we will create an account and add as a domain admin. So going forward, whatever demonstrations we will do, we will use our domain admin password, not the administrator password. Okay, the server managers getting loaded. Let's open Active Directory Domain Services. Okay, so here we have the domain and I'll add NUAA, that is PLR, and under this I'll create a user. Ganesh MR, that is initials, Ganesh R, and user logon name, that is Ganesh R, and this is next, and here select the password, confirm password, and this is finished. I'll add this user as a member of domain admins. Okay, so now this user is part of domain administrators, so we can perform all the operations. So the Active Directory is installed, and also we installed the DNS role. So this is the forward lookup zone which is created, test.local. So this is how we can install the ADDS services along with the DNS services. And in the next video, we will install a child domain controller using PowerShell, and we will add that in the same domain, test.local. So that's it in this video. Stay tuned for the next video. Thank you for watching.